can talk now to Elizabeth Carr-Ellis from Canterbury, who's making a difference because she set up the Know Your Menopause campaign. Elizabeth, good to have you here as well. Thank you for the continuance of the conversation. There is a lot of ignorance, isn't there, still around the menopause?
There is. I mean, it's 4 years since I realised I was going through menopause. And as Lorraine and Trish said, it is changing. It's getting out there. But there's still a lot of stigma and there's still a lot of ignorance that it is just hot flushes, irregular periods, and people don't realise all of the rest of the symptoms that go with it, which is why we're campaigning to get menopause awareness posters into our GP offices. We have posters for everything. I've lost count of the number of COVID posters there are in my health centres, and we have nothing for a condition that can make life hell for almost half of the population, and we're determined to change that.
Good. And I guess we need, like you used the word stigma, my previous guest used the word shame. I don't really understand why that would be the case. You know, it's something that half the population will go through. It's a natural part of life, of being a woman. Why do you think there's this kind of reluctance, or we shy away from it?
We are talking about the half of the population that's regularly talked over and ignored, which is why medical history has always look towards the men, and we're seen as men without certain parts of their anatomy, just a bit different. So it's only recently that women's hormones have started being investigated and looking. And of course, we have it all tied up with women aren't allowed to get older. You know, our only use in society sometimes feels that we're there to give babies and that's it. After we can't give children, what's our point? What's our use? So there is this whole big thing of once you're older, you're seen as not being of use to your society. Whereas what I love now at the moment, there is this huge idea of embracing the crone, the wise woman who is no longer fertile, but has all the experience and all the years and everything that we celebrate in older men, all the experience, the wisdom they have is starting to be seen in women. And menopause is a huge part of that.
Absolutely. Have you read Women Who Run with the Wolves? If not, I severely recommend it to celebrate older life and women.
It sounds brilliant. I'm going to get it straight away.
Good. Yeah, definitely do. And I'm also wondering, I suppose, we want understanding, we want the conversation, hence us talking about it on the radio today, which feels brilliant. But are there other things that women can practically, tangibly do, when they do have symptoms? I've heard about HRT. I don't know whether that helps or not. Are there other things as well?
HRT can help a lot of women. It's hit and miss at the moment because GPs are a bit behind with knowing the latest on HRT. So women have to do a lot of research for themselves. But there's also lifestyle, just making sure you look after yourself with things like exercise. Yoga is a great one for menopause because it helps with your brain as well. It helps take away a lot of the white mist that surrounds you. I used to feel like I always had buzzing at the back of my head and I couldn't concentrate on one thing. So yoga, meditation, they really help clear up that white mist. And eating well, sadly, things like alcohol aren't so great. I have a drink. I have to be honest. I like having a drink with my husband, so I do that. But I'm very aware that if I do, then my symptoms are going to go haywire the next day. So I have to weigh up the risks and balances. But yeah, learn things like, cutting down on your sugar, cutting down on your alcohol, your caffeine, and understanding the effects these will have on your body afterwards.
That's really interesting. And I suppose what we want as well, as I was discussing with the others, is greater understanding in workplaces, so that if you are having a particularly bad day, you can say, look, this is what's happening, and that will be okay, to share.
Definitely. The desk I work on must be fed up of me because the other day I apologised for being Kevin and Perry, but my hormones were having a bit of a party and had taken me back to puberty. So it was having the wisdom to acknowledge that this was what my hormones were doing. There was nothing to be ashamed about it. And actually, it's better for everybody at work if I say, look, I'm having a really bad day and I might be a bit snippy. So if I am, please forgive me and try and understand. And if it goes too far, let's work together and help this. So yeah, discussing it at work, it's important for everybody because if I'm having a bad day, believe me, everybody around me is going to have a bad day as well because I'm going to make sure of that. And so we have to work together so that when I'm having a bad day, I've got that support and I can think, okay, maybe be a little less, thank you, Mrs. Patterson and Kevin and Perry, and stop being a bit more of an adult woman that you can be because this is just your hormones and you can deal with it.
It's all about communication, isn't it? It's all about having that conversation. And speaking of which, I'm sure there are people listening now who'd like to get in touch, who'd like to maybe be part of that group, who maybe have questions for you. How can they do that?
They can find me out. I'm always on Twitter at 50 cents, which is 50 and then SENSE. If they do a search for the hashtag Know Your Menopause, they will find us all over the place. And also on positivity.co.uk, where you can download our poster, which has all the symptoms on, and it follows NHS guidelines. So it's good to put up everywhere. It is exactly what women need to know.
Perfect stuff. Elizabeth, thank you so much for being with us this morning. Come back and talk to us again soon. That's Elizabeth Carr-Ellis then from Canterbury, who, as you've heard, set up the group Know Your Menopause. And we're talking about it, of course, because it's World Menopause Day today.
Make a difference.
BBC Radio Kent.
So I just had a really good talk with Essex Fire Services. It was a lovely session. It was an hour and it's a long time since I've done one of them, so it was great. I'm now busy running to the train station. I'm taking a little breather because I now have to run to the train station, do another interview with BBC Radio Kent, and then get the train into London, where I'm going to be handing out leaflets all day. And then from there, I'm running off to Rochester to host a menopause party. I would say life is easy when you get older. It's telling a whole load of rubbish. And can someone tell me why my earbuds are suddenly talking Chinese to me?
And London, Victoria.
Customer information. This station is fully step-free. Customers travelling with buggies or luggage.
The Circle Line train now on the eastbound platform. Circle Line train now on the eastbound platform. Make sure you're behind the other line, allow passengers off.
The next station is Westminster. Change for the Jubilee line. Exit for Westminster Abbey, the Houses of Parliament and Riverboat services from Westminster Pier.
So I just finished at the statue. I'm now making my way back to Victoria. It's really busy. It was quite emotional around there because there was a lot of memorials for David Amis. It's just one of those things that make you think. And I met a few protesters. I met a few menopause people when I was there, which was brilliant. All with the same idea, so great minds think alike, eh? And yeah, I'm now off to go have a drink, party, relax, enjoy, and celebrate menopause because it is a time for celebration. See you soon.